I would like to call the January 6, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Anderson. Burton. We're having technical difficulties on our end. No, what I think it is that the Zoom isn't over. We're just getting the camera feed, so we're not getting the Zoom because I can't get the desktop for the council chambers. I have Jeremy's cell phone. Should I call him? Sorry, kind of to recap, we are having an issue with our recording system in the chambers, and for us to be able to hear you with from the computer to the chamber audio system, if that makes sense. And so we're troubleshooting. I apologize.
Got you on speakerphone with Jen.
Hey, Shelly, on the Extron, I can't toggle over to desktop. It's showing no input.
So, did everybody test earlier?
No, sorry, we didn't test.
Okay. When I talked to you earlier, I thought we were going to run the test with Jeremy. That's what he called and was going to do. So, with the Extron, it's going to have to be Jeremy. I'm not IT. I don't know all of the hookups there.
Okay.
That's why the tests earlier in the day are huge important. You guys try Jeremy?
I will call him real quick. Thank you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Joey, this is John again. We'll give you a shout back with your other stuff. Yeah. I'm not sure either. Yeah, we've got everybody on video, but there's no audio coming through from them. Yeah.
Shelly, I can't get the desktop to show as an input on the display through the chambers. The only.
You shouldn't have to change anything. All you should have to do is launch Zoom, and everything should already be set up. You shouldn't have to do anything.
Well, I guess I mean on display sources on the Extron, it's only on cameras. That's the only input that I can get.
Like, you shouldn't have to change anything on the Extron. Everything, like, all you should have had to do is launch Zoom and launch AV Capture.
I have both of those. We just can't hear anyone on the commission.
But, so I'm not understanding where the Extron came in.
Well, I thought before we had what was showing on the desktop for Zoom on the council chambers, like video feed.
So is the Extron on desktop?
No, it's on cameras. It has to be on desktop. When I hit desktop, it just tells me that there's no input. I know, I'm sorry.
Hey, Tom, can you say a couple words? I just want to test the audio right now.
Sorry. I'll try. Thank you, Shelley. I'll follow you later.
Okay. Thanks.
I couldn't get through to Jeremy. Can I just? Yeah. Okay. All right, sorry for the change of plans. We are going to do a teleconference because of this. And so I am going to post the teleconference line and the participant code over the Zoom screen. And so you'll be able to call in that way, and then we'll be able to hear you over the chambers. So let me type that out real quick and share my screen.
And if you have multiple devices, you can stay on the Zoom call, I believe, and call the phone or call the number that Jen is going to be providing, so that we have both an audio and a visual. If you have multiple devices, where you can do that. If not, we understand, and go ahead and phone in after she displays the number here.
Can you see what I'm sharing on your Zoom? Oh, sorry, Caitlin.
Thank you for calling Telspan. Please enter your conference code followed by the pound key. Thank you for calling Telspan. Please enter your conference code. Your passcode has been confirmed. Please wait while you are joined to the conference. Remember, leaders, *0 will call an operator at any time during your meeting.
Feel free to say anything when you are on the teleconference line. Thank you.
This is Mark Burton.
Thanks, Mark.
David Blossom.
Thanks, Commissioner Blossom.
And Commissioner Anderson.
Thanks, Tom.
Hi, Shirley. Charlene Kopka.
Thanks, Charlene.
I have a lot of feedback, a lot of echoing.
This is Linda Hutchings.
Thank you, Linda. I think the feedback might be if you have your Zoom audio on and your phone on speaker. Sorry.
This is Jenny Smith-McAley.
Thanks, Jenny.
Jen, is the feedback coming on your side?
I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
Is the feedback coming on your side? I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
When you're talking, it's fine. So I think it's on another commissioner, maybe has their audio on from two different sources coming in. If you have your phone on speaker and maybe an iPad on Zoom or something like that, it could have that feedback.
Yeah, I turned down the iPad all the way and muted the iPad. So the only thing I'm talking through right now is my phone.
Okay, thank you. So the only commissioner I'm missing is Hugarte. All right. Commissioner Hugarte, if you happen to be on, feel free to text me, or if you wanted to try and call in, the code is on the screen. But I guess we should resume, and we'll roll call again. Resume. Thanks for your patience. All right, so I think as far as the roll has been called is I have Anderson, Burton, Blossom, Topfest, Smith-McAley, and Vadla in attendance, as well as Linda Hutchings. Thank you.
Are there any changes to the agenda? And if there are any objections to approving the agenda? Hearing and seeing none, the agenda is approved. And for the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of October 7th, 2020, which is our last meeting, are there any changes to the minutes? Are there any objections to approving the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. There are no presentations with prior notice. There is a public hearing for Resolution PZ 2021-001. Recommending that Section 1710-285, the Kenai River Overlay District, lovingly known as K-ROD, be amended to correct citations to Kenai Peninsula Borough Code and to provide consistency in the regulation of activities along anadromous streams. May I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve Resolution PZ 2021-001.
Is there a second?
Charlene Topfest, I second.
Thanks, Charlene. Thanks, Jenny. May we have the staff report, please?
The city drafted and adopted the Kenai River Overlay District, referred to as K-ROD, in 1999. K-ROD is a special overlay zoning district, and to give context, I'm going to show you a map of the zoning districts for, I know we have a few new commissioners who might not be as familiar. So in addition to the requirements of the underlying zoning district within the city, given that the given parcel is in, for example, it could be rural residential, it could be commercial, The KROD holds additional requirements for any development that is within 100 feet from the ordinary high water mark or 25 feet from the top of a cut bank. And it's whichever distance is greater. This distance is measured horizontally. And so the intent of the KROD is to provide landowners the opportunity to develop their land while riparian habitat is being protected. The KROD requirements are developed to be consistent when possible with the Kenai Peninsula Borough's Anadromous Waters Habitat Protection District. I'm going to share the memo again. By citing borough regulations and providing the same allowable uses and standards, the public has an easier time understanding and complying with the standards. In 2013, the borough amended its anadromous streams requirements to include changes to the sections cited within the city's Kenai River Overlay District. Planning Commission Resolution 2021-001 updates the references to the amended Kenai Peninsula Borough Code and provides for consistency between the two jurisdictions. There are 3 changes addressed in this resolution. All are housekeeping with no significant changes to the requirements. Sorry, I'm trying to get my bearings again. So sorry, I am not seeing the screen. I want to share real quick. Let me.
Yeah, usually it's great. Usually we've got people's faces on one screen, the agenda and packet on the other.
I know.
Everything's upside down.
All right. Thanks for your patience again. The first change is to section 1710-285F of the city code. This section of code describes land development and uses that are exempt from KROD requirements and where the city does not require a permit. In this section, a portion of the Kenai Peninsula Borough Code is cited. By citing the updated code, the regulations remain consistent between the city and the borough, and it makes it easier for the public to understand the standards. The borough amended the section of code that was cited and replaced 2118-070B with 2118-065. Section 1 of the resolution before you addresses this change. Section 2 of the resolution is the second and third changes. So this is to section 1710-285H of the city code. This section of code addresses when an administrative permit for habitat protection projects is required. An administrative permit are ones that either John or I would issue by staff, and no public hearing is required. So the application for this type of development within the KROD is not going to be seen before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and that's what these type of uses are addressed in this section. So for one of these standards is for walkways installed that have no less than a certain percentage of light penetration. It's similar to those graded walkways that you would see in Soldotna Creek Park. The Kenai Peninsula Borough standard is 25%. So in order to remain consistent, the change to light penetration will be from 20 to 25% in the city code that is proposed. The third change is also to 1710-285H. The recommendation in the resolution before you is to delete B and C of eligible projects that specify standards for walkways, stairs, steps, and ladders with a minimum of 50% light penetration and elevated to a height of the supporting frame with no parts of that structure that other than the piles and the posts that are in direct contact with the ground. Section C addresses walkways, stairs, steps, and ladders which have less than 50% light penetration and are an average of no less than 18 inches above the ground. Those sections would be replaced with a reference to the borough standards for elevated light penetrating structures in 2118-071A2 of the Borough Code, and that is found on page 10 of your printed packet. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the staff report. Are there any questions for staff?
This is Commissioner Anderson. I guess my only question would be, I understand what we're doing. We're going to basically just reference back to the borough, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so with that, my only concern would be if maybe they don't care as much as we do as a city. Like maybe the borough has broader restrictions and ordinances and things where maybe we would care more about the Kenai River in our area. I just want to make sure, is this something we can always bring back up to the table, and then basically the Planning and Zoning Commission could amend this again if we felt we needed to? Or how long does this go into effect for?
Well, I guess I can start to answer that, and maybe John can pick up the pieces that I miss. So as far as the Kenai River Overlay District and the borough's anadromous waters protection, the idea is that anything that is more restrictive is what is adhered to. So if there's something that's more restrictive, that the requirements are greater in terms of habitat protection, that is what would be the standard. That's what's in the ordinance. As far as making amendments and changes in the future, if we wanted to change one of these back, or if we wanted to change a certain standard for whether it's no permit, the administrative permits, or things that come before the Planning and Zoning Commission, that ability is there too. I mean, amendments to codes are part of the process, and I think I'll turn it over to John.
I think you covered it really well. Right. If the borough should change their standards at some point and we don't like what direction they're headed, we would amend our code. The thing is here, what we're trying to do is be consistent with them, because our two districts do overlap. They've got a 50-foot along the Kenai River and other anadromous streams, and we have 100 feet on the Kenai River. And so what this does is provide consistency for the public when interpreting these different regulations. And to date, I would say that the city has been satisfied with the standards as they've been adopted by the borough. Like I said, and like Jen said, they can be changed down the road if for some reason those standards are modified by the borough and we're not in agreement.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff? The public hearing is now open. Are there any members of the public who wishes to speak on this item? I don't think we have anybody else on the line. All right. And at this time, there's no public, so the public hearing is closed. And are there any commissioner comments? I'd just like to jump in here. I am serving as a task force member. Right now, the borough is reviewing that 50-foot setback. It's been in place for a long time, and the management over at the River Center has proposed some housekeeping of that ordinance to make it easier for everybody. It has been going well. There aren't very many conditional use permits that come up, and I think issues about people wanting to do certain things that aren't covered in the ordinance. It's very easy to work with River Center staff to figure out how to make things happen. So what's happening now at the borough level is trying to figure out how to make it even better, some housekeeping. And I think that's why the staff has picked it up and tried to do some of our own housekeeping. And it's really wonderful. I really commend staff for doing that. It's timely. And I do think that we'll continue to kind of have it in the front of our minds, because the task force, the anadromous task force, is continuing to meet, and their recommendations, which will also be minor, will go up before the assembly and the planning commission at the borough. And this is a long story, but I just wanted to give some context for why this is here before us now, and also open it up to if anyone has questions about anadromous ordinances and riparian buffers. I'm very happy to talk with you and anyone in the public off the record, especially because I am serving on that anadromous task force. My number's on our website and on the borough's website, so please don't hesitate to reach out. With that, I just wanted to say thank you to Jen and John, and I look forward to probably seeing maybe a few other things that maybe we'll do some housekeeping on after the Assembly approves their changes.
Caitlin, this is Linda Hutchings. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard, but I was listening to the Assembly meeting last night, and they have removed Mr. Combs from the Kenai River Center. So I don't know who's going to be in charge.
Yep, they have an acting manager, but I think that I spoke with her yesterday, and the intent of those housekeeping changes are going to move forward as planned. There's nothing really. I think that the changes include like cleaning up some of the language to make sure it's all consistent throughout, and making sure there's a way for people to put up a flagpole, and those kinds of very small changes. And I think those are going to be the same kind of small changes that are moved forward regardless of who the manager is at the River Center. That's my understanding.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other commissioner comments? I would just say, please look at our KROD language, our ordinance. It's a good read, and if there's anyone who does have comments about how it can be improved, always bring them forward. Our staff is wonderful, and their doors are always open, even in COVID times. Metaphorically open. With that, let's call for the vote.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Burton.
Yes.
Commissioner Blossom.
Yes.
Commissioner Hugarte. Perhaps if you could give me the thumbs up if you say yes. Well, I don't know if he's called in. Commissioner Hugarte, I'm so sorry. I am not hearing you. Could you give me the thumbs up? I can see you visually. If you say yes or if you say no, thumbs down. Oh, shoot. I do. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Topfest?
Yes.
Commissioner Smithwick-Ailey?
Yes.
And Chair Vadla?
Yes. Thanks. There's no unfinished business. Moving on to new business. We've already done this part.
So to clarify, our city code specifies that we need to elect a chair and a vice chair every January, so the start of the year. So even though we just did this in September because Colleen resigned, and so kind of to give background for the commissioners that weren't here, our chair that was our chair for about 20 years resigned in September, and Caitlin got to have the whole position since she was our vice chair, and then Jenny also graciously accepted the nomination for being vice chair then. So we had a little bit of change up in chair and vice chair, but even though that was just a few months ago, we have to do it again because it is the start of the new year.
Thanks. All right.
I nominate Caitlin Vadla for chair.
That was fast. It's kind of the fastest. Whoever nominates dodges the bullet of being nominated.
Does anyone second the nomination for Caitlin?
Second.
Yes, this is Charlene. I seconded it on my computer. Sorry. Not realizing that.
I didn't even get to say, are there any nominations for Planning Commission Chair? It's kind of cheating, guys. All right. Are there any nominations for Planning Commission Vice Chair?
I nominate Charlene Topfest.
That's cheating, Jenny. Charlene, do you accept?
Someone has to speak up.
Yeah, I'll accept.
All right. Well, then I will second that nomination for Charlene. Are there any objections? All right. No. Public comments without prior notice. We don't have any public tonight. So we'll go to reports. And we have Councilmember Linda Hutchins with us tonight. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Hutchins. Can I call you Linda? And we'd
Yes,
love
you
to
may
hear
call
from
me
you.
Linda.
Thanks.
Well, I really don't have too much to say other than this is one of my favorite committees next to Parks and Rec, so I really think I'm going to enjoy this because I love to see what's going on. And, you know, I hope that everything works out well with the Anadromous Stream Act because I know there has been some talk about making it a little bit more lenient, and I don't think we want to do that. So other than that, it's just great to be here, and thanks for listening to me.
Thanks so much for coming, Linda, and thank you for bringing that up. Do we have City Manager Kyle with us? No, okay. But we do have the Director of EDMP with us tonight. So, John, please take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, I just have a couple things for you. One is I sent you all an email with a poll or a survey asking for your advice and input on future educational topics for the commission. I've heard back from a couple of you. If you haven't heard back or if you haven't responded back, please do so. Please shoot me an email or give me a call. Let me know what items you would like to see in the future come before the commission for short primers on any topic. I listed a few, but there's others. And if you're looking for something more meeting oriented, we can do that too. You know, like findings of fact, effective meetings, duties, responsibilities. We can do that, or we can dive into specific topics. That's up to you. Just let me know what you want to see. I also want to say congrats to Caitlin and Charlene on your election. That was a hard-fought victory for both of you. Congrats. I also want to thank you for your patience with our technology. We have a brand-new system. We tested it yesterday. It ran perfect, and today it didn't. So we hope to have the bugs worked out here by our next meeting and get things straightened out for you. A couple other items that I want to share with you is if you've been following the news, the CARES Act was extended. The deadline for expending funds goes into next year at the end of next December. And so the city will be reviewing at the end of this month options to spend down the remaining funds that we have. So we'll keep you informed on that process, and we may have some input sessions again with businesses, nonprofits, and our elected and appointed officials. So we'll keep you posted. And then last, if you've been following the annexation story here in Soldotna, you'll know that last Tuesday the local boundary commission did meet, and they did approve their written decision for annexation, which was to convert the city's petition from the legislative review to local action, which requires a vote. The city now has 18 days to ask them for reconsideration if we wish, or we can, we could also ask for an appeal of that decision. So at this point, no decision has been made. It'll be before the city council at their next meeting. a week from today. They will have an executive session on that issue. And I think that's all I've got, except to say Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all stay safe and healthy, and look forward to seeing everybody back here in the chambers sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And we'll move on now to commissioner comments, and we've got a few new folks, and I would love to welcome you by throwing you immediately under the bus and asking you to give a bit of an introduction to yourselves. We're a body that has been a part of the city for a long time, but we constantly have new members and folks who serve for a long time and for a little bit and move on to new places. So I'll just call on folks, and please introduce yourselves, and if you have any other comments that you'd like to share, go right ahead. Mark Burton.
Hi, Mark Burton here. I grew up in this town. I've moved back 2018. I love this town. This town is a part of my heart, and I wanted to get involved with this, with everything in this town. I adjunct for KPC and work for Peninsula Pathology, and I'm just excited to be able to serve on this committee with you guys.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Thanks.
And I heard somebody say welcome. I echo that. And I'll move to our next newest person is Eric Hugarte. And are you going to have to pantomime your introduction? I'm so sorry that the audio is not working. You look enthusiastic and present. And I'm so sorry that your audio doesn't work. I can't wait to meet you in person. And I hope the technology moves soon. Are there any comments, if you have any, maybe?
They disabled the written comments.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Eric, we will have to hear from you next time. I'm so sorry.
Actually, I can hear him through the iPad. He's coming through the iPad.
Yeah, you're next level there. We're not up to speed yet.
Well, I guess Eric can introduce himself to everyone on the iPad. If you wanted to unmute your iPad, we just won't be privy to it.
All my life, I grew up in the concrete jungle.
Thank you, Eric.
Oh man, I heard like a couple words. I think I might just have to get your digits, and missed that. Thank you for joining, and thanks for serving. And I'll just go down the line. Charlene.
What are we doing? Just comment?
Yep.
Or introduction?
Well, an introduction because we have some new folks, and then any additional commissioner comments you have.
Working with it. Oh, just welcome to the new commissioners. Thank you.
All right, and Jenny? Jenny, you might be muted.
Oh, sorry, I did mute. Yeah, I don't have any comment. Welcome to the new members, and looking forward to when we can meet again in real life.
Yes. And David Blossom?
Yeah, I want to say welcome to the members as well. Looking forward to getting back in the council chambers there and conducting a meeting that way. It's always much easier and more efficient. The vaccine is here. We have been very busy getting the vaccine out, so hopefully that'll provide a little bit of hope and relief to this situation. And thanks to staff for all the work.
Yeah, no, it's thanks for your work at the pharmacy, David, and Jenny is a businesswoman here in town, and Charlene too. I suppose we can all give further introductions when we convene again, but the introductions are also for the new folks, Eric and Mark, to get a sense of who they're thrown in with here. I grew up here too, and am happy to be back serving on the commission, and I very much enjoy being at this level of local government to learn how things work, and also to do my part to help my community grow and be better. It's a great place to serve, and I know all of us do a lot professionally and personally in the community, and this is another great place to do good. So thank you for being here, and also thanks to the staff who help us run. I don't think we've ever had as technical of difficulty as we had tonight. Usually things are real smooth and great, but we had to start off the new year with a bang, so that's what this is, I think. And I just wanted to echo again for new folks and for old folks, don't be strangers to our staff. I think reaching out to them can help us to be a better commission. There's John for the educational topics. And Tom, I'm so sorry, Tom. Tom Anderson. Yeah, Seat E. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi. Tom Anderson. I was born and raised in Alaska. I work for Hillcorp in the inspections and integrity department. I've been on the Planning and Zoning Commission for a short amount of time. It's my first board or commission that with local government to help out Soldotna in any way I can. I love this city, and graduated here and everything else. So welcome everyone who's new, and thanks for continuing to have me for everyone who's been here longer than me. John and Jen are fantastic. They're literally there for anything you need, small or big. Write them an email, work out as many details, and have as many long-winded conversations as you want before the meeting so that you can get right to the meat and potatoes in the meeting. So thank you guys for your services as well.
Thanks, Tom. Just to wrap up, I did want to highlight how unprecedented that local boundary commission decision is to take it to a vote. And if folks haven't been following that issue, it's a pretty interesting place to be. So the next regular meeting of our Planning and Zoning Commission will be held on February 3rd at 5:30 via Zoom. And the commission meetings are broadcast live. So agenda will be posted on the website, and hopefully we can get together in person soon. So with that, the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys, for your patience.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.